Black Widow is directed by Kate Shortland and stars Scarlett Johansson, Florence Pugh, Rachel Weisz, and David Harbour. Man, this movie is okay. As Black Widow is running from the government, she gets reintroduced to her surrogate family that worked with her on a covert mission when she was a little girl. And we get to see the origins of Black Widow. Man, I think this movie was okay. It's not top tier Marvel. I think the best way to compare it is like Captain Marvel, right? I love the character of Captain Marvel, and I think what Brie Larson did with the character is awesome. We finally get to see a female character with like in her own right with so much power and respect alongside Black Widow as an Avenger. But like Captain Marvel, I didn't like the way that the certain scenes were executed, and same here. The writing is there, but the way it's executed is kind of lackluster. There's a lot of cool things that they could have done with these characters, with the action scenes and the way certain things are executed. It kind of just falls flat. It's a decent Marvel movie for sure. The beginning of this movie sets it up to be something really dark and really interesting. And even when things started happening, it just kind of it didn't find its footing until Black Widow finally reunites with her surrogate family, and that to me is the heart of this movie. It has one amazing family scene that almost brought me to tears. It was that good. And that's it. I think the villains definitely fall flat. The main boss dude that's in charge of the Red Room, basically the one that abducts all the little girls and turns them into, killer assassins, is definitely a scumbag. But he has this swagger and this like ego to him that I think it's pretty well done. There are things in this movie that are just executed in a way that just it feels like we're getting a little bit of story progression, the meat of the movie, and then it just kind of slows down, and then it goes up again just a little bit, and then it slows down. That's kind of what I feel for this movie. For example, David Harbour's character, the Crimson Guardian, I think that's what his name is, or the Red Guardian, I wish I knew, had a lot of cool potential to be like this egotistical, idealistic Captain America. Could have had a lot of amazing scenes and cool things happen with him, but every time he's going to do something cool, he just kind of gets beaten up a little bit. His introduction to this movie is awesome, but nothing cool happens with this character, and it's kind of a shame because he had a lot of potential. But out of all four of them, the one that steals the show is Florence Pugh. She is amazing in this movie, and it's clear that they're setting her up to take the mantle of Black Widow. Well, she's not going to be called Black Widow, but the Black Widow character. Florence Pugh was amazing in this movie, and just the way that she's able to go toe-to-toe with Scarlett Johansson is just amazing. She stands her ground and is honestly the best part of this entire movie. But that's it. Taskmaster was just a waste. I really like the idea of Taskmaster. Basically, this assassin that is able to mimic and master the moves of anybody is it's just amazing. He can change his fighting styles in an instant. Unfortunately, in this movie, it makes sense narrative wise why he's there, and the eventual reveal of who Taskmaster is makes sense in the context of this movie, and everything for when Black Widow meets her family, it all narratively makes sense, but the way it's executed is just not good. I can't really recommend this movie. I put it in on the tier of like low level Avenger movies like Thor 2, Captain Marvel. If you guys like Captain Marvel, that's awesome. For me, I didn't really like it that much. It has the same kind of flaws with this movie, and it's a shame because I love Scarlett Johansson and Brie Larson. They're amazing actresses, but just the way that these scenes are written and put together, they just don't have that epicness as other top tier Marvel movies. Now, what this movie serves the purpose of, though, is making Florence Pugh the new incarnation of Black Widow. All in all, guys, I can't really recommend this movie. If you really want to watch it, stream it, but the only thing you have to know is the post-credit scene that takes place at the end of all the credits, which you can probably just find online. Skip it, stream it, but I wouldn't watch it. And I'm definitely probably not going to watch it again. I'm going to talk about the post-credit scene in this, and then we're going to talk about the overall phase of what Marvel is going through right now. And I'm curious to know what you guys think. So for those who don't want to be spoiled, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a good night. Now, if you guys haven't signed off yet, this is your last warning. I'm going to be talking about the post-credit scene of Black Widow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, in the post-credit scene of Black Widow, we get to see Florence Pugh's character visiting the grave of Black Widow, and I think that's really nice because it shows how much love she has, and the character arcs that she went through the movie. Oh, that's another thing I should have mentioned. The character arc of Black Widow in this movie is another strong suit. The same with Florence Pugh, which is dealing with your trauma and learning to love and accept one another. I think it's a very powerful message, and I think that was handled beautifully as well. That's like the only other positive. Other than that, she's visiting the graveyard of Black Widow, and it's a really tender moment that gets interrupted by this secretary lady. I forget her name. I'll put her somewhere here. Her character got introduced to us in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She's kind of like a Nick Fury esque person, lady, I guess, where she's recruiting her own team of Avengers or covert people. And we find out that Florence Pugh has been working with her for a while now. But she offers Florence Pugh the opportunity to find out the person that killed Black Widow, her sister. And she shows her a picture of Clint Barton, which is Hawkeye. Obviously, we know that that's not the person that killed Black Widow, but I think what it's doing is actually setting up the Hawkeye series that's coming on Disney Plus later on. Let me know what you guys think about how they're structuring these characters and what they're doing with introducing new incarnations of old characters. Obviously, we have a new Captain America now. I think we're going to get a new Loki by the end of this Loki series that's wrapping up. And like I said, I think Florence Pugh is going to be a new incarnation of a Black Widow. Not so much the character name, but like an incarnation of that character. And Iron Man kind of has it with War Machine, but I see more of his continuation story with Spider-Man, since he kind of already has like his own Iron Man suit, but like as a spider, you know. But yeah, they're doing this whole new phase where they're getting rid of their old characters and just making new incarnations of those characters. And curious to see how it's all going to wrap up in the end of this phase. But let me know what you guys think. I'm on board with it. I really like what's happening in Loki. To me, that's my favorite show that I've seen from Marvel. I'm really excited to see the finale when it wraps up next week. Obviously, I'll give my review for that. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.